again. Today, guys, we're going to be working with materials. So, as you saw in the last video, I showed you how to create it, how to open it, give some details of our materials. So, right now, we're going to be working with different materials. So, as you saw in the last video, we want to create V-Ray Rich. And let's go to V-Ray Advanced Material. Let's just double click in there just to open this. And as I said before, if you go right click in here and open window, you can have another window where you can get a bigger preview from the material what it's going to be. So in this area, let's just go ahead and check this off. Let's check this off to make the material visible when we click render into V-Ray. So let's just move this a bit. First material that we're going to create is a black plastic material that we're going to use maybe for this lamp, maybe for the candle in here. I don't know yet where what are we going to apply those materials, or maybe for the frames of those pictures. So for the meantime, let's just create a couple of materials and then I will let you know where to apply it. So let's just, I set another camera close to this object just to render this out and let you see how it looks like the material. So let's just go for the diffuse layer. Let me just open this a bit. So diffuse layer, guys, this is where we give a color to most of our materials. This is where we load textures as well. So, but for the materials that we're going to do, we're just going to set a color. Let's go here and let's give it a black color, not a total black, just like about 10. Because for V-Ray, guys, nothing it is totally black or totally white, so that helps V-Ray to make faster renders. When you give it a V-Ray a totally black or maybe a totally white, V-Ray takes longer to render those information. So let's just take this for about 10. There you go. So let's give it some reflections. Let's go specular layer 1. This is our reflection into V-Ray. So as a plastic material, let me just open this. For the plastic material, guys, the specular type I will set it is a font for plastic material. Don't forget this. This is very important. For metal materials, we also leave it on plain. For walls on I don't know, but multiple walls, always leave it on word material. You give a different look. You will see this later. So for this time, let's just leave it on font. The specular color we'll reduce this just a bit, like for about 60, to reduce the amount of reflection into our object. Or specular layer transparency, it means the amount of reflection that is going to be set for this type of material. The IOR, it has been determined. So if you go to a website that actually is going to leave you the link in there for you to get into the pixel land poly. We have all of the IOR materials already set. Let's go to P to get a plastic material. For plastic, the IOR is 1.46. So this is the IOR. Let's just go in here. As I said, it is 1.46, and to look like a plastic material and at the same time make the things work a bit. So let's go here and check this off. This is how it changed. So let's just move it a bit for about 60, I guess. As you can see in here, guys, most of the plastic material has this look. So metal materials have a very small brightness point in there, and wood material is almost the same as a plastic material. This is the way it looks. So let's just take this down. As you can see in here, our reflection is like way too reflective. So let's try just to diffuse all of this information. This is what we call reflection glossiness. We just take this down for about to 1.85 just to uh, make some distortion on the reflection. So the subdivision amount, what it makes is it give a more better look for the reflection glossiness, because at the end of a rendering it will look like grainy if you increase this amount. For testing render, you can leave it on 8, depends on your computer. On my case, I would take this immediately for 32 subdivisions, and but if your computer gets low, just reduce this to an 8 subdivision for the meantime. And for final rendering, you can increase this a bit. So let's go to give a look to the material. Just close this down. As you can see, I select a part of our candle, so I would just take it from here and drag it and drop it into that square where you see it. Let's just click into our material, and the projection of our material, I mean how it look like, you wouldn't like see that different here that much when we start making the floor maybe, or I don't know, furniture materials. You will see how these things works. But anyway, I would set this into a cubic way and leave it just the same, and I would check this on seamless just to look like the same way into the whole object. Let's go ahead and render it. Okay, let me just turn this on. Sorry, turn this on. As you can see, guys, this is how our material looks like. Actually, I will leave it this way for the meantime, but our reflection I will reduce it a bit because it's less reflective is what I want. So let me just actually make it right now. Remember, guys, we just practicing on making materials, and then we going to make all of the materials for our interior rendering. I was just trying to let you know how to work inside materials. Let's go here and let's reduce actually the amount of reflection, and our reflection glossiness, I would take it as maybe to 1.8 to diffuse a little bit more our reflection. Let's just render this again. Sorry, guys. There you go. This is how our material looks like. For me, at this time, it works properly. We would just see um, better look, or all of those grainy areas that we see. We will get that better when we set um, array settings, because there is a lot of noise onto our objects, because as we are making testing rendering, like, don't worry so much about it. I think it looks okay for the meantime. We just get this better when we set for final rendering. Let's just close this down. We're going to make actually another plastic material that maybe it will be used for those square plastic material that we have behind. I guess it's going to be maybe a white color or a red color. So let's go ahead and create that material. create very rich. Let's go for very rich advanced material. So let's check this off as we make before. Let's check this off. For the diffuse layer, as I said, I will just leave it on white, maybe 95 to be okay. Let's take this maybe to 95%. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Let me just open this window for you to look better how we are going to be working. Let's just set this to a soft shadow. There you go. So let's go to give it some reflection. So go to a specular layer. Let's set this to blend. As I said before, I will reduce the amount of reflections of our specular. Increase in here for the Fresnel IR. So plastic material is 1.46. And let's check this off to give it a look for a plastic material. Let's take this to maybe 1.60. There you go. So let's just reduce the amount of reflection glossiness to diffuse just a bit amount of reflection. And the subdivision, I would take this to 32 subdivisions. Let's apply the material on the same place just to give it a look. Even though we're going to use that behind on the wall, we're going to apply all of our materials in here just to let you know how it works. Let's just go ahead and render it. Well, guys, as you can see, even it is a white material or a black plastic material, the the look of our material is always has to be the same or closely. We know that we have a different plastic material. It could be a little bit more reflective or less reflective. Just what you saw in here for plastic material, the amount of IOR that is 1.46. This is just to let you know maybe the lower value for the plastic material, but you can have a higher value because we have a different type of plastic. So it's just a way to determine or for you to know how to start. So let me just close this. As I said, this is a white plastic material that may be going to be applied for our wall. Let's just close this. Let me go for another camera. Let's see if we have another plastic material maybe. Guess not. Well, guys, just practice, as I said before, how to make or how to work with plastic material, how to get everything ready for it. So practice this, guys, and see maybe some other materials that we're going to be working and applying for our interior rendering. So see you in the next video, guys, and have a good luck.